when a coach gets fired, I'm not usually the one. I don't really like try to dog on them too much. I don't like sit there and go thank God or get the hell out, screw yourself. I don't talk trash. Like they came in, they gave it a good try. Unless you're Brian Harson, then you kind of half-assed it till the very end. But you know, I try not to be that guy. Firings are always tough. $15 million probably makes it easier, but still, it's a
Yeah.
big hit to your reputation. It's a big hit to your family. So I try not to be too hard on a coach when he gets fired. That said, what the actual hell was Hugh Freeze doing all freaking year long? What was he doing? What did he do in his office? We're playing the third string quarterback all year. And it turns out if you play the third string quarterback as the starter all year, you lose a lot of games. For crying out loud, what was he doing? Every time I watch Auburn's offense, I get more mad at him. What was he doing? Oh my gosh. Anyways, welcome to the College Fanfair, everybody. Thank you here. I'm not depressed at all. I'm not sad at all.
I mean, you have no reason to be. You have no reason to believe you blew your opponent out of the water.
And you blew out your expectations, so I don't want to hear it from you. At least you have.
You will.
A good team. At least you weren't playing the third stringer quarterback as your starter all year long.
Did he really get dropped to third string?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Jackson's done. His career is done. He's over. The cat just left, but she's tired of him.
I think you just kicked your router. Yep.
Check.
I think. Oh, nope. I hear you. You're coming back. Okay, so we have the connection of a Soviet spacecraft. Nope, we're good. Okay, we're back.
Wait. Anyways, it's just mind-boggling, bro. It's just mind-boggling. What are we even doing? Like we watched Ashton Daniels against Vanderbilt. Insanely good talent. Quarterback 1,000%. And then he sits out to preserve his red shirt, and we watch Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight's better than both. And then Jackson goes out there the first because he takes a sack, and it's just like, what were we doing all year? Why were we playing the third best quarterback on the roster as the starter all year? I'm done, bro. I'm so glad Hugh Freeze is out. I'm so glad he is gone. Thank God. Anyways.
I mean,
we'll get more into that in the pajama party.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. So, pro tip for all of you coaches out there, if you want to win a lot of games, maybe play the first string quarterback or maybe even the second stringer. But for the love of God, don't play the third stringer until he plays like the first stringer because it won't happen.
Yeah. No, he did it with Peyton Thorne, and that was kind of like, we'll get into that in pajama party. Till then, what are we doing?
Well, it's rivalry week. We've had a long season.
Yeah.
Some longer than most. The college football playoff field is finally coming into view, and we're going to get a great idea of who's in and who's out. Although championship weekend could change that, because remember, Micah, Clemson won 9 games. They were considered out. Then they won the ACC and launched themselves back in, only to get stomped by Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't really. And Texas has beaten them multiple times this season. So, but before we get into the rivalry weekend, I'm sure we're going to have a lot to say about Georgia and Bama and the pajama party.
Yeah.
Let's just wind the clock back. Take a trip down memory lane. The biggest surprises that we saw this year. Some things we didn't expect, but we're so glad that happened. And looking ahead, just a wrap up. What do we think is going to happen? Who wins the Heisman? Who makes the college football Final Four? Who wins the whole thing? Surprise coach, fire/hire in this already insane cycle,
Yeah.
So,
I guess I'll start with the surprise team, Texas A&M. I think have surprised me the most. Because, you hear Aggies, you think 8-4. And everyone thought the Longhorns was going to be the powerhouse from Texas this year. But now they've just fallen off. And it's instead the Texas A&M that's just running the show in the SEC right now. So that's my most surprising team. My most surprising coaching move is obviously James Franklin getting fired. I get why. I don't agree with the motive, but it happened, and I don't think anyone called it. So that was my most surprising coaching move. And then for the Heisman, I think it's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Either him or Julian Sayin. Unfortunately, with this defense, I don't think Haynes King can close out. Or at least without that conference championship game, he won't be able to put up the numbers needed. So it's going to be one of those two. And obviously, Julian Sayin's the biggest surprise there because he's a freshman. No one knew who this kid was or what he was going to be doing. And now here we are. And so then the most surprising... what's another category?
Just let's see, game.
The most surprising game.
Yes. One that did not go the way you thought it would.
That I'm going to have to say was I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning of the season. I'm going to say Texas, Ohio State. Because I'm not going to pick an upset.
That was mine.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick an upset because those are surprising for a completely different reason. So to be interesting, Texas, Ohio State, because that was supposed to be an offensive shootout. Arch Manning was supposed to come out here and sling the ball, and it was just going to be high scoring, and instead we got a grand total of 3 touchdowns?
Yep.
So I was surprised by how boring that game was to watch. So what about you?
Okay. Well, definitely my most surprising game for me, and this just looks worse on paper the more you consider how bad this team has become as the year went on. So it also involves Texas and Florida. Florida is 3-8 right now.
Yeah.
Texas has 3 losses all year long, but their third loss, one of those 3 losses, is to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine looking at the 2 records, if you showed someone the 2 schools side by side and said, yeah, so tell me, do you think Florida beats Texas? And they're like, no way. You'd be like, well, you'd be surprised. And Arch Manning was he wasn't horrible. He was just kind of mediocre. A mediocre Texas team should beat whatever Florida is right now. I can't even call Florida bad. It's just
Non-existent.
Non-existent at all. It's awful. So there's just no way Texas should have lost to Florida. Ohio State, yeah, you give them a pass for that because that was Arch Manning's first start at Ohio State, and Ohio State looks like the best team in the country. Florida, absolutely no excuses. Absolutely no excuses. That game was already a surprise. Texas was ranked 23 and they were favored by 10 points or whatever. So it was an upset. But the more the season has just gone on, the more that Arch Manning has improved while Texas as a whole, or Florida as a whole, regresses. It's just I cannot believe you actually lost to that team. I can't believe you actually did that. How stupid of you. So, surprise team, I was also going to say Texas A&M,
Mm-hmm.
but then you took that. So, um, the top candidate for mine would actually be Georgia Tech. We will get that. We will
Yeah.
get to them in a minute, but they were. I figured they'd have a good season. I didn't think they would go on the run that they did. Um, so we'll get to them in a minute, though. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make an unpopular one, not a very super shocking one. Indiana, like they were a surprise team last year, and nobody saw Kurt the cigarette coming. Like no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
And they go on a tear. They lose one game all year. I think it was to Ohio State. Indiana makes the playoff. Well, that's just great. What a great job, Kurt Signetti. How do you do? It that just feels like that season just felt like a magical one-off, right? Like Kurt
Yeah.
Signetti was Indiana's lightning in the bottle.
I guess
But the
Malzahn
problem,
season.
yeah. And like this year, everyone had game film on him now. Everybody knew what to expect. No one was overlooking Indiana this year. It just kind of felt like Indiana was a major regression candidate. Like they would maybe be a solid team, sure, but like I'm thinking like 8-4, right? Not only does Indiana stay undefeated, they got better than last year. Fernando Mendoza came in, and like you said, Heisman winner. I agree. I'm trying to make an argument for Jeremiah Love, but we all know the Heisman hates running backs,
Yeah.
as we witnessed with Ashton Ginty last year. Um, Fernando Mendoza is the Heisman frontrunner. He's the top, not just to me, but to several draft outlets. He's like the top quarterback option in the draft coming up. Um, and not only that, Indiana beat Oregon. They're their toughest opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Indiana's just going to finish undefeated and march into the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
And dare I say, right now, but if it was Indiana and Ohio State, which it certainly looks like it, well, Michigan could do the funniest thing ever. But I think Indiana could beat Ohio State right now. I really do think that. And that did not expect to say that at the start of the year. So well done, Kurt Signetti. But can you do it a third time? So that's my surprise teams, surprise game, surprise player. Kind of going to go the opposite direction. All right.
Okay.
I picked a guy that got better. I'm going to pick a guy that got worse. And there could be several. Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Lenora Sellers, all of these guys.
DJ Lagway.
DJ Lagway. Yeah. All these guys were like the top quarterbacks prospects in the draft this upcoming year. Drew Aller would have been a first round pick himself if he left last year. But in order to not look repetitive, I'm not going to talk about the quarterbacks. What happened to Ryan Williams?
Oh yeah.
Like dude, easily one of the best wide receiver prospects I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Playing as a freshman at Alabama last year. Like it was annoying to watch, right? Because there was that little graphic, youngest player in sports history to blah 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 blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he was good. The kid was just really good.
Oh, one of the best like wide receiver plays ever was against Georgia.
Oh yeah. Like so, the hype was definitely warranted with him. So you sit there and you're like, okay, well, I cannot wait to see what you do for the encore. Here is the encore. You ready?
Ready.
40 receptions, 598 yards, 4 touchdowns, and we have one game left.
I mean, I think Isaiah Cannon has better like stats than that.
Yeah. Last year he only had 48 receptions, 865 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And he averaged 18 yards a catch as opposed to this year's 14 yards a catch. He just made it look easy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like he made it look so easy. Like it's just bizarre, and it can't be quarterback play. You can't sit there and tell me that Jalen Milroe was a better quarterback than Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
like it's just insane. You could make the argument that that's because last year he was a freshman and who covers freshmen, right? Well, now all the cornerbacks are keyed in onto him. You could say that, but you're supposed to get better as you progress. Like if you are getting all the attention, bro, which he got plenty last year too, even though he was a freshman, right? But if you're getting all the attention this year, you should be at a point where that's okay, where like you're comfortable enough to warrant to get that attention and overcome it. He's got one more game against Auburn,
Mm-hmm.
a DJ Durkin defense. Good luck. You know,
I mean, honestly, that
so
looks so winnable.
it does look winnable, but we'll get to that in a second in Pajama Party. But it's just, I guess you could call it the NCAA cover curse
Mm-hmm.
because he goes on there with Jamison Williams or Jeremiah Smith, and Jeremiah Smith looks great. So I guess one of them had to get cursed, right? But I don't know. I still think next year he will be a top draft pick, but
Mm-hmm.
he's got to prove that the sophomore slump was just a sophomore slump
Yeah.
and not a sign of what to expect.
Yeah, I think, you know, with him, I think he could like benefit from sticking all 4 years and waiting till the senior season.
He won't. He won't do it, bro.
Okay.
I mean, everybody can benefit for staying all 4 years, but he's done after next year. He would be done after this year if his stats were better.
All right. All right. I guess there's just no such thing as loyalty in this sport anymore.
There's not, especially not at Kalen DeBoer's Alabama. So
Well,
Heisman winner. I already said Fernando Mendoza.
yeah.
Yeah. Just it's between him and Ty Simpson at this point, but Ty Simpson really hurt himself last week. So yeah, Fernando Mendoza's trophy to lose. Overall champion, I can't pick against Ohio State at this point.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's
just say what you will about the schedule. I know like Texas and theoretically Penn State were probably their toughest opponents they've played, but they just look so good up and down the stretch. Like, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. They just look so good. I can't pick against them. So, yeah. Oh, and surprise coaching hire. Lincoln Riley to Florida. There you go.
Has that been confirmed yet?
I know what his asking price is.
I mean, I do hope that happens because that would be so good. Like that just
between. Let's just say he wants $10 million more annually, or not annually. He wants $10 million more than what his current contract.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, but,
I'm not going to say who found that out. I just know that that's his number.
Okay, because that's a hire that would actually inspire hope in Florida. Whereas if they hire any other coach, I'm like, okay, well, you ruined Dan Mullen.
Yeah.
So I just don't think you're ever going to have a coach that can meet your expectations. But Lincoln Riley, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So we keep alluding to it, but are you ready for Pajama Party?
Actually, hold on. Second theoretical coaching hire. You ready?
Ready.
Dan Mullen, Arkansas. Anyways.
All
of it's theoretical. I don't know anything about Florida and Arkansas, or Lincoln Riley or Dan Mullen, but theoretically, that's one that wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
Neither of them would shock me. Anyways. Yeah, Pajama Party. Let's go.
All right. Do you want to go first or you want me to go
let it
first?
Out. Let it out, buddy. Let it out. Is he crying? He's crying.
I am not crying. I am not crying.
Welcome to my 2014 year, bro. Welcome to my 2014 season. Auburn looks good all freaking year. They go to Mississippi State versus Dan Mullen and Dak Prescott, lose on a controversial fourth down call, whatever. Keep steamrolling people. Then you run into Texas A&M, who decides, hey, if we're going 8-4, so are you, and absolutely pissed away Auburn's season. Auburn then turns around and pisses away again on Georgia, and then pisses it away again against Alabama after starting the year 7-1. Welcome to my 2014. Sucks, doesn't it?
No, this is different. Your 2014 was coming after your 2013.
Sure.
This, no matter what happens looking back, this is the best season Georgia Tech has had in years.
Agreed.
And so it's going to be 2026 where, I'm either going to have a Auburn 2014 or an Auburn. You guys have not had back-to-back great seasons in a long time. But going forward, this could just be this is a huge step forward to the program, and we're going to keep building. Brent Key is going to continue to just be the elite coach that he's proven to be before, and the job will eventually get done. The frustration that comes from, this last month is knowing that this year isn't the year the job is done, when it was looking like that was going to be the case. And so this November defensive collapse is going to sting and is going to haunt me because, again, Haynes King did so much to build the program to where it is that I and so many other fans wanted him to be here for when the job is finished. And if you were to ask me, well, what does it mean for the job to be finished? I would tell you, an ACC championship game. That is kind of like the moment where you go and you say, all right, Georgia Tech's here. Like, we're back. We're in the conference title game. It's like a return to 2009, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, when it was split between Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech those years, except for 13, that went to Duke. But we would have, the rebuild would be complete. Clean Old Fashioned Hate's competitive again. And every year is going to be like this year. We're winning. Bobby Dodd's getting sold out. There's magic at fall and optimism. And by no means is this season going to be wasted. Brent Key, he's going to recruit in-state heavily. He's going to get the talent he needs from the transfer portal. And he's going to do what he does, which is win. We're going to be okay. And in the long term, this season is already just a damn good season. And so it's having to temper the expectations to, okay, we thought we were there. We thought we were finished, but we're not. And there's going to have to be a little bit of a little patience required from the fan base. But the real Georgia Tech fans are going to be in here for the long haul. We survived 4 years of Jeff Collins. And then 2 losses in 3 weeks is not going to break us. Losing to Georgia, again, we're used to that. And maybe we finish and just go 9-4. Boo-hoo. Oh, well. I would hate it for the seniors because, I love these guys, not just Haynes King, but Clayton Powell-Lee, Amari Harvey, LaMiles Brooks, Keelan Rutledge, all those guys, Jamal Haynes. They've been there since the beginning. They stuck with the program when it was abysmal, and everything they contributed. LaMiles Brooks graduated last year, let me correct that, but everything they've contributed will carry over in seasons to come. But man, I wanted them to get that championship ring.
I mean, they still could.
They still could. It would require a miracle. Yeah.
Does it have to be both of them or just one of them?
So they would need either Like, let's see. I'm gonna look at the standings. Do.
Because you need Pitt to lose now, but they're playing Miami at Miami, and
Mm-hmm.
between Pitt and Miami, I'm picking Miami.
Yeah.
So I don't expect Pittsburgh to make that. So that's one problem taken care of.
Ooh.
So yeah, they would just need one of them to lose. One of either SMU or Virginia Tech to lose.
It would require Virginia, Pitt, SMU to all lose. And then it would require Georgia Tech to beat Georgia. So they get the tiebreaker. So a far cry from just winning you're in.
Yeah.
It's going to take a miracle.
Great year, bro. It was a good season.
It was a good season. It was a good run. We were so close. It sucks that we didn't get it.
Do you fire the defensive coordinator?
I say yes.
Do you boot him?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I think Blake Gideon needs to go somewhere like a group of 5 school and gain more experience as a play caller. And then come back to the Power 4 if he wants to. But the momentum Brent Key has with like the offense and the identity there, he can't afford to lose any of it. So next year, it's another relatively easy schedule. Let me pull it up real quick. But this year was the golden schedule. Like the SSR plus schedule pool. And you're not going to get a year this easy with like this wide open a path to the ACC championship game in a long time. And so you can't ride out another season hoping your defensive coordinator develops. You're going to have to lock in immediately next year, hit the ground running, and have taken like monumental steps forward. So it's Colorado, Tennessee, at Georgia, at Clemson. So those are harder games.
Yeah, a lot of these the dates haven't been picked yet.
They haven't been picked yet, but we do catch Louisville, and we do catch Pitt again.
So Clemson, Louisville, Pitt, Tennessee, and Georgia. I'm not worried about Colorado at all.
Fair.
I'm not worried about Colorado. I'm not worried about Duke. Duke's benefited well this year from the transfer portal, but
yeah,
it's Duke. Virginia Tech, James Franklin's inaugural year.
That is true.
But again, inaugural, so
we'll see.
A lot could go wrong. So
a lot could go wrong. A lot could go right. It's a winnable schedule. It's by no means as unforgiving as last year's. It's just not as breezy as this year's. And that's why if you're Brent Key, you can't afford to hope Blake Gideon develops. You need to go and get someone with experience calling defensive plays, who is going to turn the defense around and get them into like a championship level defense, like a defense worthy of playing opposite Buster Faulkner's offense. And if you do that, I would feel so much better about next year. Like Tennessee, Clemson, Virginia Tech, and definitely Louisville, all of those games become totally winnable because Aaron Philo's a good quarterback. I'm not worried about Haynes King leaving and us having a downgrade at quarterback play. Right? Aaron Philo's a great quarterback. And he is going, to continue the offense success. Jordan Allen, I don't know if you've seen him run. That kid is fast. Like he's got blitzkrieg speed.
Looking something up real quick.
So our offense is going to be golden for next year. But our defense hasn't even played to a bronze level, and especially the last 3 games, they've just fallen apart. And that has to do with leadership most of the time. That's falling on Blake Gideon. And so he needs to go. Just there's too much at stake next year. Because if Rentke chokes this momentum that Haynes King has given him, that this year has given Georgia Tech, if he chokes this momentum, then we're looking at year in and year out 7-6, 8-4, or 7-5, 8-4 years, which for Georgia Tech fans we would not complain about. But we're really close to being regular 10-win, 9-win team, like a 9-3, 10-2 team with playoff aspirations every year. We're so close. And we're not going to get it if we lose momentum to Blake Gideon. So fire him, hire a defensive coordinator. Georgia Tech's a destination school now for assistants. So I do think Brent Key could get someone better. So we'll see all in due time. Till then, I'm going to turn my full enmity towards Georgia for just a moment and say, boys, lock the fuck in. Because this game is different from any other game of the season. Okay, you guys were like a 3-score underdog to the Bulldogs last year, and you took them to 8 overtimes, and they needed help from the refs. Now it's only 2 scores. So reach into that rivalry week magic, pull it out of you, and give me the greatest Christmas present I could have this year, a month early, and just beat the ever-loving shit out of those Bulldogs. I hate them. I hate them so much.
You sound like Anakin talking about
sand or the Tuscan.
And I slaughtered them like animals.
Not just the players, but the assistants and the fans too. Especially the fans. Mostly the fans.
The thing that brings us all together is our mutual hatred of Georgia. Well, look on the bright side. You've got them in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I know it's at the Dome, but I mean that's basically a home game for Georgia Tech.
No SEC refs.
No SEC refs. There ain't no help coming this time, boys.
If the defense played like they did against Clemson or Colorado instead of Pitt or NC State, then this was a shoo-in for me. I was like, yeah, we win. We're going to win this year.
Could they have lost to Pittsburgh because someone on staff was overlooking Pittsburgh looking ahead? And are you about to get the best game plan ever against Georgia? It cost you the ACC title game, but it won you good old clean old-fashioned hate.
Yeah, I mean, a 10-2 Georgia Tech with the win over Georgia would definitely get in ahead of some 3-loss SEC teams in the playoffs. Yeah. So and again, if SMU, Pitt, and Virginia all lose this week, you could still go to the ACC championship game. So by no means is the season over for the players. For the fans, I think it's important to temper expectations and appreciate this season for what it is, not what it could have been. And look forward to next year. And maybe a new defensive coordinator. That is all I have to say about this. Matt, I turn it over to you. Speak joy into my sorrow soul.
You came to the wrong person to speak joy to, you motherfucker. I'm an Auburn fan, okay? Life is crap. Anyways.
You scored like 60 points.
I know, but here's the problem with that, okay? First of all, yes, it was Mercer. Auburn looked sluggish in the first quarter. Like, it was 14-7 Mercer at one point. And people were like, see, this is why you don't promote Durkin. This is why it's the same as Vanderbilt. He's too split up. Defense looks bad because he's having to give attention to head coaching, blah, blah, blah. So for a minute, it looked right. And I said this last week or last time we did this after Auburn played Vanderbilt. Like, we needed to see Durkin win that game because more than we needed a win over Vanderbilt, we needed clarity on the coaching search. We needed to see, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, what would it look like if Durkin took over? And it didn't look great. I mean, the offense looked fine. Defense took a step back. So this week, after the first quarter, it was like, okay, well, there's the argument. You know, that just don't promote him at all. Like, DJ Durkin was my guy. I wanted as soon as Hugh Freeze got fired. Like, I pounded the table for DJ. I thought it would be the best move because I mean Georgia Tech. That's how they
Mm-hmm.
found Frank Key. And I was like, bro, just give Durkin the keys and let him go get his own coordinators and stuff, and
Yeah.
keep the roster together. Let's rock and roll. The Vanderbilt game kind of squashed that. I was like, okay, I'm open to suggestions at this point. And the name that I've been hearing the most, I've been hearing a lot of John Sumrall, just everywhere, all over Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. It's John Sumrall, John Sumrall, John Sumrall, and I'm like, yeah, I like John Sumrall. I'd be open to the idea of John Sumrall coming in, and then you hear some Eli Drinkwitz, and you're like, absolutely not. Um, People that are like trying to convince me he's a good hire. He just lost yet another ranked game against a ranked SEC opponent. So no, miss me with Drink. Um, so it looked like it was John Sumrall and then Drinkwitz and then DJ Durkin. And I'm all for John Sumrall. Like, if the rumors turn out to be true, which there are a lot of them, and where there's smoke, there's fire, I'm all for it. But then the second quarter of the Mercer game flips over. And Deuce Knight looked like, I'm finally going to say it. I'm finally going to say it. After years of not saying it and telling people to never ever say it, I'm finally going to say it. Deuce Knight looked like the second coming of Cam Newton. Just, they couldn't catch him. He was all over the field scrambling. He was on point with his deep balls and medium throws. Like, it was beautiful. And Hugh Freeze had him sitting on the bench the entire year. It was just infuriating to watch, but also awesome to watch. And the defense turned it on. The
Mm-hmm.
defense finally flipped around, and I get it. It's Mercer. It's Mercer. I get it. I totally get it. But Auburn wins at 62 to, I don't know, 17, 20, something like that. I don't know. But I just remember sitting there on the couch as the final seconds ticked away. Deuce Knight had a good day. Malcolm Simmons had a great day. Running game kind of didn't, but I think that's because they're resting as many people as they can for the running game. Deuce Knight was 200 yards for the running game, but the running backs, let me say that the running backs didn't have a big day, but I think that's because they're resting him for the Iron Bowl next week.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember sitting there and I was like, is this the Durkin team? Is this what we can expect? Because this is what we expected out of the gate. This is what we thought the team would look like at the start of the year. And so it's like, okay, so it looks like Durkin managed to divvy up duties a little bit better. The defense looked like the traditional Auburn defense we've seen all year. And the offense looked like, it was another Derek Nix masterpiece, looked like the Lane Kiffin offense, but with a few more run plays sprinkled in. And I just sat there and I was like, okay, well, now in the victory of Auburn beating Mercer, there's also now this huge question and this huge problem. Every single fan in Jordan-Hare, all 88,000 of them, caught a glimpse of what could be the future. Because Deuce Knight's out there. Cam Coleman is his favorite target. Malcolm Simmons, another one of his favorite targets. All these guys, you could see the future of Auburn if things go right. And now you look at John Sumrall and you're like, okay, am I guaranteed the same thing with you?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, AJ Durkin, he's one of one, but we've seen two completely different games from Auburn. One where they looked like a Hugh Freeze team, close but no cigar, and then one where they looked like what we thought they would look. So, So yeah, Auburn looked great. It comes down to the Iron Bowl now, not just our bowl season eligibility. I'm getting really tired of saying that. I've said that for 3 years now. The bowl season comes out of the Iron Bowl. I'm getting really tired of saying that. Um, but not just the bowl eligibility, but also the coaching search. If John Summerall, if DJ Durkin puts together another defensive masterclass against Ty Simpson, who struggled against Candy Cane College last week, mind you, 126 yards and 2 interceptions in the first half. If DJ Durkin puts on a masterclass of a defensive game plan against Alabama, and Ashton Daniels, who Auburn sat to preserve his red shirt and to keep him healthy for the Iron Bowl, if Ashton Daniels and Deuce Knight just go out there and light it up against Alabama, I mean, destroy. Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton Jr. will be out there somewhere. Bama can't cover both.
Yeah.
Hey, they can't. So if Derek Nix goes out there and just lights up Auburn, lights up Alabama, I mean, Auburn will win, and then I feel like you have to give Durkin the job. I feel like you have to look at the product on the field and the talent that would stay, because the players love Durkin. They love playing for him. The roster retention just became a top priority based on what we saw at Mercer. Durkin gives you your best shot. So you know what? As much as I like John Sumrall, I still think John Sumrall will get the job, but I'm back where I was before the Vandy game, where I'm just hoping Durkin can pull something. Just pull something out of your ass, out of left field, out of a hat. Pull something.
Yeah.
And get the job. And stay at Auburn. Keep Derek Nix on staff. Do my brother a favor and hire Blake Gideon just to oversee the defense, but not actually coordinate it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't want him on my staff either. But
fuck you.
Go get a new defensive coordinator, one that can actually help you with game planning and stuff, so you're not as torn. And throw a bag and a half at Deuce, throw a bag and a half at Cam. Give both of them whatever they want to stay. Give Malcolm Simmons whatever he wants to stay. Keep the talent, keep the staff, run it back next year. Auburn's schedule next year. Dig this out. Professional podcasting, everybody.
Better quality than the ACC network. Just remember that.
Neutral site game against Baylor in Atlanta. That's a win. I mean, we beat them this year, and we're terrible this year. All right? We beat them at Baylor this year. So
you're not terrible this year. You're just, Hugh Freeze was just terrible.
Yeah, we were handcuffed all year. Baylor, Vanderbilt at home, Arkansas at home, Florida at home, LSU at home. All four, so Vanderbilt and 3 schools that are looking for a new head coach, we get them all at home. Okay. Also, Vanderbilt, hi Diego Pavia. Good luck with your lawsuit. Get out. Auburn doesn't have a Vandy problem. We have a Diego Pavia problem, and he's out. So, no. Get off the Vanderbilt. It's going to be a tough matchup, horse. You're stupid if you think that. Away, Mississippi State. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffinless Ole Miss. Georgia, Bama, Tennessee. I see 3 games that, could be problematic next year. Give Durkin a shot if he can beat Alabama. And I really think he can. So, it's a night game at Jordan-Hare. It's a sold-out crowd once again. Auburn has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Except to do the funniest thing, and Alabama's scared. Everybody I know who's a Bama fan is terrified of this game. So, yeah. It's thankfully the end of the year. I'm getting really sick and tired of the last game being a mercy kill for Auburn, but we might not be the only ones getting mercifully killed.
Yeah. I think the more I think about DJ Durkin, the more mad I am that they kept Freeze for as long as they did. Because I'm just dude, he would have gone up. You would have had him against Missouri, Kentucky. Um, who else did they lose
Auburn would be
to?
on a 3-0. Auburn would be on a
Mm-hmm.
3-0 run right now.
Maybe get Vanderbilt because he has more experience. He's more settled in. If he had been fired at the end of the Georgia game, like I believed he should have been, like the reffing be damned, that loss was on the SEC officials. 20 yards of total offense in the second half is on Hugh Freeze, and that was the kicker of you need to fire Hugh Freeze. He's not going to get this job done.
Yeah.
Fire him. And now DJ Durkin has so much more time to develop. You get a wider like plate of what to expect with him. But now you're in this situation of you only have 3 games with the guy. One of them's a loss to Vanderbilt. One of them could be a win over Alabama. And that's just not a whole lot to make a confident decision. I think if he beats Alabama, you do keep him because at least you have a better idea than what you would get with John Summerall. But you could have had a...
Even if they don't want to hire Durkin, keeping him is still it suddenly becomes a priority. Like I've heard through whispers, John Cohen, when he's doing these interviews with all these coaches, in Auburn's interview, we've talked to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say a lot. It's like 5 or 6. It's not a ton, but But I do know that something that John brings up in interviews is the retention of DJ Durkin. Now he's not making it a requirement, but he's making it a preference. I think if you beat Alabama, you make it a requirement. And if no coach will do that, then be like, okay, well, we'll do it ourselves, and you just keep him. So, yeah, I don't know. So, I wanted Auburn to win, yes, and I wanted them to win the way they did. Absolutely, I did. But I'm just sitting here and I'm just looking at it now. It's made the coaching search more confusing. Wow, I'm having a stroke over here. And just like everything else, just like every Auburn year, doesn't matter this season or the record. Just like every season at Auburn, it all comes down to the Iron Bowl.
Yep.
So, speaking of chance for an upset, well, let's talk about that in the picks.
There we go. So quick update on the score. Matthew 18, me 14. So if we do the conference games, I am running out of time to make up. So I'm going to have to do some Hail Marys. So, right. What do you have for us?
Being rivalry weekend, we have a lot to work with. Unfortunately, none of them start until what is Florida State doing playing at North Carolina State? Oh, okay, that's an old game. Why did it bring up last week's schedule? Hang on a second. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, unfortunately, no intriguing games happen until Friday. Oh, I mean, you could say the Navy and Memphis, but, no disrespect to the Navy, the midshipmen. But everything gets started on Friday. There's a lot on Friday. Holy crap, there's a lot of games happening on Friday. Dude.
Yep.
Why don't I'm going to be forever mad that I had to work that day.
If you were coming back on Saturday, I would have gone with you and we could have watched the games at night, but oh well.
Fine. Friday, as usual, the Lane Kiffin Where's He Gonna Go Bowl. Number 6 Ole Miss travels to Mississippi State. Sure, Egg Bowl. Big deal, but nobody cares about what's going to happen on the field. Everyone cares about what happens afterwards. Lane Kiffin is making an announcement about his future the day after. The popular rumor right now is that it's to announce he's leaving for LSU. LSU, as On3 did report, offered him $90 million or something like that to come to Baton Rouge. So we'll see. But before that announcement, whatever Kiffin decides, who wins the Egg Bowl?
Ole Miss.
Of course.
Let's not overthink this.
Yeah. Mississippi State's heading the right direction. I like what Jeff Lebby's doing down there, but they're still a couple years out. Um, Rip Nebraska. Not even gonna worry about them. Then later on in the day at 3:30, clean. Oh, actually, we will do Nebraska. You know what? I'm still high on the Dylan Raiola Matt Rule experiment. So Iowa versus Nebraska to wrap up the season. Um,
Is that
Disappointing game.
who's the away team?
Iowa Hawkeyes. Nebraska just got blown out of the water by Penn State. Dylan Raiola is injured, I think. So, but it's at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the backup quarterback's name in Nebraska, but he's not too terrible either. And it's Iowa. So yeah, I'll
You,
pick first for this one. I'm gonna say Iowa.
okay.
I'm gonna go
Um,
with the Pittsburgh Steeler college football uniform team.
how many games are we gonna have?
Uh, Plenty.
Plenty. Okay. In that case, I'll go with Iowa.
Okay, all right.
I got it.
I was trying to give you a chance to catch me there, bro. But all right.
Nah, I don't feel good about that one.
Okay, Georgia Tech.
All right.
It's Georgia Tech. It'll be a cold day in hell before I pick Georgia ever again.
I know.
Yeah. Give me Tech.
Woo! Next.
I have faith in them. I really do, and it better not be misplaced.
I have faith. I'm tempering expectations.
Well, then there's that. There you
but
go.
I'm still picking Georgia Tech.
And then Friday, I mean, dude, this is such a clean slate.
Yep. I know it's next.
You might have to come home with me, bro. you might just have to come home with me, and I'll get off work and we watch these. You just might have to do that, bro.
Maybe.
Actually, I don't get off till 6:30, so we'd only really have time to watch one. So never mind.
Yeah.
Texas A&M at Texas. So Texas A&M, like you said, they've had an incredible year, undefeated. They're ranked number 3. Texas has gotten better as the year went on. I called this. If you go back and watch our earlier episodes talking about Arch Manning, I called this.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I feel like he's going to be just like his uncles Peyton and Eli, because it was the same thing with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started out like crap. They got better as they went on. By their next year starting, they were incredible, right?
Yeah.
Sure enough, I guess that's just the Manning thing, because that's what happened with Arch, right? Now he still isn't blowing everybody out of the water, but he's starting to be the main reason why Texas wins games and why Texas has gotten better as the years gone on, right?
Right.
And Texas seems to have Texas A&M's number. And the line right now is Texas A&M is favored by 2. So Vegas is calling a close one. And since I'm going to pick A&M, I don't feel great about that, but
all right.
Because Texas could still hang on. What implications does this game have? Yeah, they're only 2 behind. This game does have playoff implication for the Longhorns.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they somehow, okay. Because if Alabama, nope, actually, no chance. There's no way. Never mind. I take back everything I said. This has implication for Texas that they could say screw you to their rival. Yeah, playoff implications are done for them.
Yeah.
So I'm still taking Texas A&M.
Okay. In that case, this is a great game for me to try and catch up. So I'm going to take Texas.
Okay.
I have to.
Have to. Here's another one.
Ready.
The game. Ohio State travels to Michigan. Couple of superlatives here. Number 1, Ohio State hasn't had any problems this year, except for competent competition being Texas. That was it. They haven't. Have they played anybody?
Huge asterisks for competent.
Yeah, but still, like, okay, so a ranked win over Illinois, a ranked win over Texas, and that's about it. I mean, they've blown everybody out of the water, but then you flip it over. Michigan doesn't look bad. I mean, they've had some games where they've played with fire, right? But they haven't looked incompetent, like absolutely stupid and horrible, right? They've
Mm-hmm.
lost to Oklahoma early on in the year, which now we know that Oklahoma's actually a good team. Um, they lost to USC. Other than that, it's kind of been smooth sailing for the Wolverines. They look good, and it's being played at Michigan. And as we know, Micah, Ohio State has a Michigan problem.
They do.
And last year the Wolverines beat them with a significantly worse roster at Ohio State.
They did. So who are you going to take?
Well, I already said I'm not picking against Ohio State till proven otherwise, so I'm going to take the Buckeyes. I'm going to say they break the. I'm going to say they break the streak.
All right.
At Michigan.
Well, I feel good about this as a makeup game for me. I'm going to take the Wolverines.
I knew you would.
So that's two makeup games. I need two more, preferably three.
Miami at Pittsburgh. I hate the Panthers for what they did to Georgia Tech, so I'm going to take Miami to knock them out of the ACC title game race. And it looks like Vegas favors them by 6. So Miami's got a good shot here. So I'm going to take the Hurricanes to do Georgia Tech a favor.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Hurricanes.
Okay, cool. So we're agreed on that. Another rivalry game. We've got two big ones here. Kentucky travels to Louisville for the Governor Cup. Now, this game about 2 weeks ago, it looked like a sealed deal for Louisville, right? But Kentucky found a quarterback in the middle of the year, Cutter Boley. They threw him in, and I forget. I think it was the week before Auburn. They threw him in and said, "See what he's got," and he actually it was one of those, like, he comes off the bench and it's like a dime. What's the word I'm looking for? It's an underdog story. He comes off the bench and blows the competition out of the water. Like, the lights are on and he just starts playing, right? So Kentucky has actually won 4 in a row with Cutter Boley. Mark Stoops saves his job. Like, he's coming back next year, which a lot of Kentucky fans wanted him to, but they needed a reason to keep him. Well, now they got it. Cutter Boley's the real deal. Mark Stoops hasn't lost his knack. Louisville, meanwhile, got punched in the mouth a couple weeks ago, and that hasn't really recovered. They're only favored by 3, but it's at Louisville. I really don't know how I feel about this one.
I actually picked. I went Louisville.
You went Louisville.
I did.
Expand.
Home
field advantage, isn't it?
Home field advantage, but also Kentucky looked good against Auburn, but that was Auburn.
Okay, you know what? I'm mad at Kentucky. I'm not picking them. Louisville. I hope they suck. I hope they get the brakes beat off of them.
Well, yeah, that was like your wife's inaugural. Oh yeah,
that was their first game, bro. Her and Andy and Raven. It was their first game in freaking Kentucky. 10-3. I was livid, bro. Yeah. You know what? Fair enough. I ain't picking Kentucky ever again.
All right.
Louisville all the way. Go Cards. What is this one called? The Palmetto Bowl. Clemson at South Carolina. Gee, week 1 of the season, this game was a lot more interesting.
Yeah, this is like, if we're going to pick a rivalry game that we're surprised sucks, it's this one.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the funny thing. You ready? Lenora Sellers is hurt. He hasn't really looked the same since, he came back from that injury. It's played at South Carolina, and they're favored by 2.5 points. I don't get that.
Cap.
So I'm going to pick Clemson to upset them.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
and it's just shocking. Like, I don't know why South Carolina's favored in this. So I'm taking Clemson. You do what you want.
I'm taking Clemson as
You
well.
also said Clemson. Okay, I missed that. Okay, they're both aligned there. Major
All
rivalry.
right. We're going to get canceled for this joke.
I don't want to know what is it.
It's time for the retard bowl. Florida State at Florida.
I'm gonna take Florida State.
All right, I'll take Florida.
I'm gonna take Florida State because, unlike Florida, they're keeping their head coach. They at least have the #2 scoring offense in the country to lean on. Yeah, I'm taking the Seminoles in their
I think.
I can't believe you called it that. There we go. All right. A couple more big rivalry games. LSU and Oklahoma is not a rivalry. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going
Oklahoma
to
first.
skip that one.
But it's not even a rivalry. Yeah. But Tennessee Waltz, though, is
Hey!
versus Tennessee. It's a top 25 matchup. Vandy, college football playoff indication on the line, just like we all predicted at week 1. And Tennessee chance to screw over their rival. And you know what? Here's a very unsettling statistic for you, Micah. So Tennessee has lost to every ranked opponent they've played this year.
Oh.
0 for 3 versus ranked opponents this year. Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma. Vanderbilt, on the flip side, it's basically Diego Pavia and nobody else. And they're traveling to Neyland. And Tennessee does not have a Pavia problem. They beat them last year. So, and a small part of me, can I get all conspiracy theorists for a minute?
Sure.
A teeny tiny part of me really thinks that the SEC would rather have, obviously Texas A&M is going to go, Bama's going to go, because that's your SEC championship matchup, right?
Georgia's going to go.
And Georgia's going to go, and Ole Miss is going to go. There's a world where the SEC could send a 5th team, and I have this conspiracy theory that if the SEC had to pick between Oklahoma or Vanderbilt to send as that 5th team,
they're going to send Oklahoma.
They want to send Oklahoma. And just for that reason, Vandy fans, don't hate me. This is just a conspiracy theory. Don't be shocked if Tennessee gets a lot of calls. Like, this game smells like Vanderbilt's going to be fighting both Tennessee and the refs. Because the SEC won't have, the playoff committee won't sit there and look at a 10-win Vanderbilt and go, we did this song and dance with both SMU and Indiana last year, and they both got bounced.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing this again. So, I'm going to take the Vols.
Okay.
This game it feels like this game is being rigged against Vandy. Because, again, like you said, between Oklahoma and Vandy, who would you rather send?
Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, even though arguably, which again, something else I didn't think I'd say at the end of the year, John Mateer's not a better quarterback than Diego Pavia, but just the team around him is more complete. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm taking the Vols.
All right. Anyone else?
Oh yeah, we got tons more. Who are you picking?
Oh, Vandy. This is a good makeup game for me.
Okay.
I've wanted Vanderbilt to lose all year, so this is good for me.
This one was a rivalry in the Big 12. Now it's kind of a renewed rivalry in the SEC. Missouri travels to Arkansas. Ain't no way I'm picking the Hogs. They're awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Oh, here's one more fun one. You ready? Um, North Carolina at North Carolina State. The
The
Belichick
Unk Bowl.
the Belichick Bowl, which is ironically the name of every other game that Belichick plays in. I don't know. Um, sure. I mean, North Carolina State, they're a good team. They're
Mm-hmm.
never North Carolina State's never been like light years better than anybody ever, but they've never actually hit rock bottom. Like they're always good. And North Carolina right now is going through a major suck phase. So, um, I'll take the Wolfpack. I don't know
All
what the
right.
name of this rivalry is. Do you know what the name of it is? Battle of the Carolinas or something like that.
I don't think it has a name.
Well, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Um, it needs to have one.
NC
That's just really
State
dumb. That's just really dumb. They need to have one.
nickname. Nickname. Do-do.
And then finally, the Iron Bowl. Alabama travels to Auburn for the first night game in Jordan-Hare since 2017.
Ooh.
Alabama historically does not, well, it's the first night Iron Bowl game. Bama does not historically do well in
In
night games.
Jordan-Hare at night, yeah.
Yeah. Auburn tends to do well in Iron Bowl night games in Jordan-Hare. So,
Yeah.
Bama's only got 2 losses. This is a huge opportunity for Auburn to, again, I feel like it's going to be Auburn versus Bama versus the refs. But if you come out, let's see, if you come out and you punch Ty Simpson in the mouth and don't look back, if Derek Nix gets in his bag one more time with both Ashton Daniels and Deuce
Mm-hmm.
Knight, this is going to be a game.
Yep.
This might be one of those last one to get the ball wins it type games. It'll either be that or it'll be Auburn runs away with it. I don't see this being a Bama blowout at all.
All right, I agree. So I have my 4 makeup games. This is going to be a phenomenal weekend of college football. Way too many games to try and keep up with. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. So,
I'm picking Auburn, so anyways.
yeah.
I don't know if I said that.
Obviously.
You picked Bama, didn't you?
No, I picked Auburn.
Oh. Okay. That's it. There's our picks. So rivalry weekend is here.
Hate week is here.
Hate week is here. Iron Bowl week is here. The game week is here. Egg Bowl week is here. It's finally here. And thank God. I'm so tired of coming on to this podcast and being like, Auburn sucks. I'm so tired. So the day after rivalry week, a lot of interesting things.
Yep.
We'll probably try to record then because I feel like we're gonna have a lot to talk about, like Auburn's new head coach, Ole Miss's situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Conference championship predictions, and then after no selection Sundays, so that would be our last playoff bracket.
Yeah.
So till then, to hell with Georgia.
Fordham Eagle. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Everyone
Thanksgiving.
drives safe on the roads and whatnot.
And happy hate week.
Happy 8 week.